YouTube, America. America is in trouble. You got law enforcement that doesn't know laws. You got politicians that thinks it's a great idea to take illegal immigrants that cross from Mexico and put them right into law enforcement. No questions asked. Don't even know the first thing about law. But yet they're pulling people over. Law enforcement already does not understand law. They don't understand constitutional rights and freedom. Well, they think it's a great idea to take these guys that can't even speak English, throw them right into a police car. There you go. You got law enforcement. Illegal immigrants. They're not even citizens yet. That's Illinois, by the way. If you live in Illinois, plan on getting fucked late for the next God knows how long until you get rid of these idiots in office. Democratic parties is destroying their areas. If you look at the Democratic run areas, high crime rate, poverty, drugs, and all this stuff going wild. Here's another thing, these lithium ion batteries. Everybody says it's a great thing to have them. They're catching fire in New York, burnt down a store and had people in apartments above them that had to evacuate because the ion batteries were catching fire. So yeah, lithium ion, great way to go, sure. You can't even recycle lithium ion very easily. So now you got these things catching fire. One kid on YouTube was riding a brand new, right out of the box, bike that he charged, went 3 miles, and the thing caught fire, blew up. Good job, good idea. You got these politicians that thinks it's a good idea to turn this country into a communist country. See, you got these places like Chicago, Philadelphia, New York, and everywhere else that they have to chain up their freaking frozen food and chain up their products because they're getting looted and stolen on a daily basis. Good idea, you dumb thugs. You make it so everybody wants to leave your neighborhood. Good idea. You make it so nobody wants to move into your area, your community, because there's drugs and crimes and you guys are shooting each other and, you know, over the stupidest argument, and you drop somebody dead. Or somebody's got some Nikes on, you want their Nikes, and you shoot them and drop them dead. So, yeah, good idea. Huh. No wonder everybody's wanting to move out to places like this. They're wanting to get away from your dumb ass. And you got the black people that feel entitled, so entitled, self-entitled, that they think, oh, we black people can't do no wrong. But yet, if you watch who's looting and stealing and creating these riots and all this stuff, the blacks and the white liberals too, but mostly the blacks. They're claiming that their community and their neighborhoods are perfectly fine. They're so self-entitled and self-delusional that they think it's okay to have rap music that talks about shooting each other and pushing drugs on each other and raping the woman down the street or getting with that hoe down the street, that whore. Y'all being played for fools by the Democratic liberals and the propaganda from Hollywood and all this stuff. Black Entertainment Channel, I tried to watch it one time, and the only thing I saw was greed, violence, lust, sexual immorality, and all this other stuff going on. And they're pushing that in the black videos. Oh, and if you're black and you're teaching your kids about black supremacy, black power, black supremacy, you're no better than the KKK. the white supremacists. You complain about the white supremacists, but yet you're talking about black supremacy. Hypocrite. Hypocritical. Look the definition of that up. It points directly at you. If you're talking about that. You got a teacher that was talking about how she hated white people, or her sister was dating a white person, and she went on a racist rant. Well, guess what? She got fired. Good! I'm glad she got fired. You got all these stupid laws popping up about guns. Gun control, gun this, gun that. But yet they're taking your law-abiding gun that they're buying off of you, that they're only giving you $200 for a $2,000 gun, which is, you're stupid if you sell your guns, by the way. You're a freaking retard. Hey, if you want to sell it for $200, bring it to me. I'll give you $200 for a $2,000 gun. Bring it to me. I'll buy it. I'll gladly buy it. Guarantee you, here in Texas, it'll be put to use too. But anyways, they're taking your guns that they're buying off of you with the tax money that you pay. So they're using your money against you, your tax money against you, and they're giving it to Ukraine. So yeah, imagine that. And Ukraine is saying they're at war, but yet they're sitting in clubs and they're sitting at the pool looking so, yeah, they're not at war. Come on. Got these Ukrainians that are sitting around in bikinis and drinking cocktails and margaritas and all this other stuff, but yet they're getting the money from Joe Biden and the Democrats and the liberals. Come on, wake up. You're being played for fools. You got these Democrats and everybody else that's saying do away with the farmers. You got everybody that's saying do away with all this stuff, you know. Come on, man. They're telling you can't have a plastic piece on your gun that holds your gun. They can't tell you your gun can only shoot so many bullets per minute or per second or per whatever. That's not up to them to decide, because it says a well-regulated militia is deemed necessary. Well-regulated militia means that if I'm an American citizen, not illegal, I have the right to have the same ammunition as my government, same weapons as my government, well-regulated. Because my government is actually proving exactly why the Second Amendment was written. The First Amendment is proving exactly why it was written, to hold them accountable. See, we got seeing everything that's going on in America, and we're seeing why we have the Constitution. We're seeing why we have the constitutional rights and the freedoms of today. Because you got 30 thugs that are jumping on one guy. That's why we have an AR-15. You drop all 30 of them. Let their mom cry when they're looking 6 feet in a hole at a casket. Yeah, he was a good boy. Yeah, that's why he was out thugging. You got 30, 40, 100, 200,000 people that are rioting and looting and stealing. That's why we have AR-15s and shotguns. That's why the government cannot take your guns, because if they take your guns, you end up like California. You're going to see drug addicts sitting in the middle of the streets, so doped up on the fentanyl that they're zombied out in the middle of the road, and you got to drive around them. And then also you got California saying that it's illegal to confront your shoplifters or your thieves or your criminals. You can't confront them because it's illegal now in California. Sorry, I don't fly in Texas. California is a shithole. Washington State's a shithole. Portland, Oregon, and Oregon is becoming a shithole. Chicago, Philadelphia, all these places where all this crap is going on. It's exactly proven exactly why we believe in the Second Amendment, but also why we believe in God and our values in God. Because those places that are ungodly are proven exactly what they are. They're ungodly. You're seeing what's going on with the pedophiles and the transgenders and everybody else. You see these law enforcement agencies that they don't even understand what laws are, and they're being made fools by these people that just do simple research on Google. They're going into court and they're looking like fools and idiots because they falsely arrested somebody over a bullshit law they made up in their head. See, people are starting to wake up and they're starting to understand. There's no law that says I have to sit on the ground like a fucking dog. So if a law enforcement tells me to sit on the ground, I'm going to tell him to wipe my ass with his nose. Kiss my ass. Telling you, because I ain't sitting on the ground like a dog. I don't comply with unlawful orders. Law enforcement doesn't give unlawful orders. Law enforcement doesn't make laws. Law enforcement doesn't make orders that you must abide by. See, government, Congress, is where laws are written and made. But yet, for far too long, agencies like ATF and DEA and everybody else has been making an EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA and OSHA, all these other, they've been holding America back, preventing America from being great. If you look up at the history of Chicago and the World's Fair, that's when we were great. We were building great things. We were building the Hoover Dam and everywhere else. We were building things that were awesome and phenomenal. But yet, the greed of the pharmaceutical industries and these monopoly, which monopoly is illegal, but the monopoly controlled industries, you know, BlackRock and everybody else, have come in, and now here's what BlackRock's doing now. They're going in and buying up these homes. And they said you're going to own nothing and be happy with it. They're making you pay $2,000 a month in rent for these homes, when that $2,000 a month can go into owning your own home. The credit score system is a joke. The credit score system has been a joke for a long time because poor people like me cannot get credit. Unless we have hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank, we can't get credit. We can't repair our credit. We can't do anything. The insurance system is nothing but a Ponzi scheme. Insurance is a Ponzi scheme. You know, government's got so many Ponzi schemes set up. The licensing, tags, and inspection, and all that. Just a Ponzi scheme. Look up the definition of a Ponzi scheme. And you're going to see government. It's going to ring true in your head. Government is a Ponzi scheme. See, government is not there to regulate our lives. Government there is to protect this country from foreign invaders. That's all they're there for. Our constitutional rights are the ones that protect us from everyday individuals and also government. So, you got government that's running wild and they're regulating, and you got these big pharmaceutical chemical companies that are telling our farmers it's better to put chemicals that they produce, or these artificial plants, genetically modified plants in the ground to grow them. You got this meat that's being produced in a lab. I'm telling you, this is why we have our constitutional rights and freedom. We need to shut down those billionaires. We need to file lawsuits. Oh, by the way, Pfizer's warehouse was destroyed by a tornado, and over 50,000 pallets of the poison they were putting into your vein were destroyed. Thank God it was destroyed. God's power, by God's control, was destroying that. You got all this stuff that's going on. They're being sued for billions and billions of dollars. Pfizer and a bunch of them. Bill Gates needs to be taken down completely, because Bill Gates is the one that's pushing this stuff. Bill Gates is nothing but a vile, evil man. You got all these 27 different families that controls all these different corporations under the shell of BlackRock. And I'm not saying all Jewish people, but those Jewish families that controls those companies. And I will never say all, because that'd be saying that every white person is bad and but anyways, you get the idea. But the Jewish families that run those corporations. And if you participate in it, you're aiding and abetting, and you're guilty by association. So actuality, if you participate in it, you're guilty by association. Freemasons, Illuminati, and all these different secret societies that you belong to, you're guilty by association. If you're running around with your buddy and you watch your buddy loot and steal and everything else, you're guilty by association. You're allowing them to do this. You're not doing anything to stop it. You see what the Bible predicted is coming to pass. It is here. We are seeing the end days. We are seeing what the Bible was talking about. The mark of the beast. You got to check in, check out to even buy anything. You can't even buy something without being a part of their bullshit in this world. You can't afford to have a house. You can't afford a car because they put so much taxes and all these different licenses and all these different government permission to have one onto you, and they cost so much that you can't afford it anymore. See, to build a house, you have to have permission from the government to build a house, when way back in the day, you didn't need permission. You just did it. See, Western society is a joke. Always has been a joke. Because we're asking permission from the government when we should never ask permission. We should just do it. Build it. Get it done. Government should not be our permission slip. These licenses, these permits, these whatever, that shouldn't be our permission slip to do what we naturally are allowed to do under God. And that is protect ourselves, build for our family, protect our family, make everything great in America again. Find ingenious ways for this energy crisis that we face in this world. I'm telling you, we need to stand up to our government and say enough's enough with these permission slips. We don't need your permission slips. We don't need your billionaire buddies giving us these chemicals to put into our animals and our food and everything. We don't need these pharmaceutical chemicals that are made from oil and everything else. We don't need your permission. And in Africa, here's the thing I've talked about in another video, and I wish everybody would think about this. And if somebody's rich enough to start it here in America, let's start it, let's get it going. Let's build out of plastic. Take sand and plastic and mix it together. Once it's all ground together, ground up and melted together, make a form, make a block, make your boards, your planks for your docks that's in the water. All kinds of stuff that you can make out of that plastic sand mixture. And we can recycle. Hell, if you want to build a wall in South Mexico, right there at the Mexico border, use those plastic to build the blocks, to build for the walls. Here's ideas that I've thought of. I'm putting them out there. Y'all can steal them, do whatever you want with them. But use plastic for making roads. Use plastic, recycled plastic. We have so much plastic in this world, we can make all kinds of stuff. Africa, they're doing that. They're making patio decks. They're making driveways, patio driveways, paver driveways out of this plastic, concrete, sand mixture. And they're making them, and they last for years. See, we have so much plastic in this world, we could build a freaking skyscraper, a whole city out of nothing but plastic if we wanted to. See, this is why we need to stand up to these corporations and to say enough's enough with the plastic. We don't need any more plastic in this world. See, the corporations, the billionaires that pay off our politicians with the lobbyists and all that, that's what they're doing. They're paying off our lobbyists. They're paying off the government. They're paying off, and the money gets rolled. Joe Biden accepting money from Ukraine and everywhere else, God knows where. And yet he's nibbling on babies. He's sitting there kissing and nibbling on babies. And yet people are sitting there going, well, it's okay. It's Biden. No, It's not. It's Barack Obama that's hiding behind Biden. See, they're protecting Barack Obama. Whoopi Goldberg getting herself in a dumbass mess now. She's getting sued, and she's scared to death. Kyle Rittenhouse should have sued her a long time ago. Kyle Rittenhouse should have took her down and just sued her for every penny she has. Shut her big ass mouth up. Shut the View up. The View is actually coming off the air. Thank God it is. Because it was nothing but a cackling hens bullshit show. And I'm telling you, enough's enough. We need to stand up to these corporations and these billionaires and say that we need to be able to build and be able to take these cities, abandoned towns and cities that are around the United States, and turn them into communities again. Without government permission. We don't need permission from the government. We don't need permission to carry our guns. We don't need permission. Really, we don't need permission to drive our cars. We don't need a license, a tracking number on our cars. We don't need all that stuff. Government does not have to know what we're doing 24/7. Government does not have to know everything we do. Granted, if you want to know a car is stolen, the VIN number is all you need to know if it's stolen. That'll tell you if it's stolen. The license plate is only government tracking numbers. That's all it is. All this inspections that they do, they don't really inspect them. You think these inspectors are taking the time to inspect them right? No, these inspectors don't inspect them right. They just look at it, go, yep, you got insurance, cool, lights, yep, cool, hey, cool, here you go, money, boom. They don't care about these inspections. These inspectors for the state of Texas, come on, man. They actually, Governor Abbott, I'm going to bitch at you for one thing. Governor Abbott, you said that you did away with the mandatory water breaks for these labor workers that are out in the heat. That was a bullshit move. Governor Abbott, quit being a dumbass. I like you when you roll around in that chair. I like you. But there's a lot of things you're doing that's dumbass. You're falling in line with these freaking dumbass Republicans and dumbass Democrats and liberals and everybody else. Stop it. Man, leave Texas alone, Abbott. Leave Texas alone to these politicians that think that they're going to run Texas. Leave them alone. We don't need your permission to do anything. And if the government wants to come and say that they're going to force me into permission to do whatever I want, go for it. All you're going to do is prove my point that the government hates your freedom, and it hates your constitutional rights, and it hates everything about you, and they want you to have nothing and be happy with it. I have nothing right now anyways. So what are you going to take from me? My constitutional rights and my freedom is my last straw. You take that away from me, I have nothing. So what are you going to take from me? See, that's the thing. When you push a man into the corner, he's going to do nothing but fight back. He's got nothing else to live for. See, I got God on my side. Even if I decide not to drop my gun when law enforcement tell me not to drop my gun, that's my right, my Second Amendment right. And if you do kill me, government kills me, that means I'll walk with God, because I will not kill them. I will not pull a trigger against them, but I will not drop my guns. I will not let them have my gun. They will not come and take my gun. So actuality, how bad do you want my gun? Do you want to take them out of my cold dead hands? Go for it. I'll be walking with Jesus and God. And if God decides to send me to the other place, well, that's their choice. But I've tried to live a good life. I'm not perfect. But I'm telling you, I don't want to ask for permission to do anything in this world again to government. See, there's ways of getting around here in Texas where you don't have to buy insurance. You don't have to buy whatever. There's a thing called the freedom to travel, where technically, according to constitutional law, the freedom to travel means that you're traveling. You're not a driver, because driver's licenses are for commercial drivers. But yet, when you say you're a sovereign citizen, law enforcement thinks that you're nothing but a domestic terrorist. But yet, they're the domestic terrorists because they got the blue line. They're nothing but a blue line gang. That's the world's biggest gang right now going on. Think about it. Law enforcement backs up bad law enforcement. Good law enforcement doesn't speak up. They don't speak up against bad law enforcement. So actuality, are they good law enforcement? Which one's a good? I'll put you in a pit of snakes. Which one's going to bite you? You don't know. But anyways, that's my thoughts for today. God bless. Y'all have a good one. And keep it real. And remember, them guys are needed. Them farmers, truck drivers are needed. You know, all these people are needed. They needed to work. They work hard to provide for your family. All these people are needed. Good law enforcement. Good law enforcement that stands up against corruption in our government is needed. First Amendment auditors, constitutional auditors, they're needed because they expose the ones that need to be exposed. See, they're exposing the truth because our news media can't even do it because they're owned by the corporations. We need you and me to stand up and be the press now. Apparently, we can't trust corporate media anymore. You are the press. Freedom of speech is your right. Remember that. God bless. Have a good day. Keep it safe. Keep it real. And always remember, record the police, record your government, hold your government accountable. Learn your laws, learn your rights. Knowledge is power. Power is knowledge. Have a good day.